I am very, very sorry for absolutely everybody in the United States. I'm sorry for all of you that are younger than me.
So basically, I was thinking that maybe, and hear me out on this, maybe we could try not doing the wrong thing and instead maybe try doing the right thing this time.
Well, howdy, Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Oh, a brand new day in which I am way too overly warm. Holy smokes, I tried putting on one of my other shirts here, but even at, it's now 8 o'clock in the morning, it is warm. It was warm last night, and now it's warm today. Oh boy. Now how much of it is actually the real world being warm and how much of it is just me that overheats? I don't know. But I am overly warm today. Very, very much. Even with this. So as soon as I finish recording and editing, that door is going wide open and that fan in the window is going on full blast. Holy smokes, it's like a kiln to me. But to me, anything over like 70 is hot. So, yay. Anyway though, front loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be very awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that too would be very, very cool. I love engagement. Yay! And I haven't been able to do it yet, but hopefully now I've been able to change and update this list of Patreon patrons, these beautiful and awesome people that literally help to keep me alive. I'm greatly appreciated to each and every one of these beautiful and awesome people. Thank you. Without these people's help, I and my kitty cat and my hamster would be hosed. Now, the list is out of date, and I'm very, very sorry about that. Hopefully, I'm going to get it updated here. Executive dysfunction. You all deserve better. I'm doing my very best. Thumbs up. Thank you all. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there is a link to a PayPal. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money, there's an Amazon wishlist link with stuff like cat food on it. So, thumbs up for that. Hey, front loading of videos over. Yay. I am so uncomfortably warm. Yay. Like I say, it's gonna be great. Oh joy. Not the day, the summer. I do not do heat well, which in this rapidly heating up world, oh boy. Thumbs up. Still though, one of the big things I gotta talk about, of course, is what's happened here in the United States with the Supreme Court and I have been watching this country go downhill ever since Ronald Reagan got into government back in the 80s. And it has been a slow decline of watching the growing, what has become the alt-right, grow from where they were back in the 80s to what they've done now to us. Oh boy. And of course, I was watching Bo, the Fifth Column today, where people said, oh, aren't you a bit, fear-mongering? How do you know that they're going to be doing these other things now that they've outlawed all these things? I don't want to say anything because I don't want to get demonetized, but if you know what's happening in the U.S., good old Roe v. Wade. And of course, Bo says, because they've said so. The people that handed down this decision said that every state should re-look at, and the Supreme Court needs to re-look at 3 decisions. And these 3 decisions determine things like who you can marry and what color their skin is, whether or not you can buy contraception in any state, or whether or not, people of the same gender or sex should be able to marry. And that's not fear-mongering. They said it. They say, we're coming for it. We've already taken a jump back a couple hundred years. So I don't know what's going to happen here in the U.S. I do not like anything at all here that has been happening. And I have been just crushed mentally all day yesterday since I found out about this. Even though I knew it was coming, I was still hoping. I've heard and read about people with their fears of, we can't fight back against some of these things because then no one will trust in the Supreme Court, but only 25% of people trust in what the Supreme Court is. One of the big problems is when Ronald Reagan and his ilk came into power back in the 80s, they ran on the platform of government doesn't work. That government just does not work. And the big plan to show everybody that government doesn't work was that they were going to get into office, plug everything up, make sure it doesn't work, and then stand back and say, look, see, it's broken, we told you. And so ever since then, more and more of this type of person has been coming in and just destroying stuff to say, look, see, government doesn't work. Amelia, no. Amelia, no. Get away from the door. Get away from the door. Get away from the door, you silly goose. Oh, man. She is a kitty. Now if I can remember what the heck I was talking about. So with all of this, because since I'm not going to be able to pick up the exact trail of where I was, my mind is and my psyche are largely crushed, and I keep trying to come back to other things and be creative and forget about as much as I can, but I don't like talking about current events. But when the country that I live in is being dragged back to the Stone Age by a bunch of knuckle draggers, who want to show that the government doesn't work by getting into positions of power and to make sure it doesn't work, and then of course packing the courts with people that are just vile. Or, as has been shown in various cuts of things about all of these Supreme Court people that are in power now, where they just flat out lied and said, oh no, this sort of thing, it's a precedent, we can't even look at it. First thing they do. So I've been trying to think of other things, but just the absolute injustice is insane. And I am very, very sorry for absolutely everybody in the United States. I'm sorry for all of you that are younger than me that live in the United States. There are no more good years left. The climate has been destroyed. You're not going to have any good climate years. As one of these Simpson joke meme things that I saw is Bart going, oh my God, this is the hottest summer I've ever had. And Homer's just leaning in and saying, oh no, this is the coldest summer of the rest of your life. And that's true. It's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. And unless we stop it, it's going to continue getting worse to the point we hit the brick wall and everybody dies. So that's bad. And then this is bad. So everybody that's got any form of depression, I can imagine right now, that isn't a social regressive, is probably suffering a lot right now. But I'm trying because I have no power. I can't change anything. I can vote when I can vote, but I'm just one vote. And if you don't have money, as we know, especially here in the United States, you don't have power. And trying to be angry enough that you can change what little you can, but not be overwhelmed by it. And not just being consumed by all this stuff, or not just becoming totally apathetic. It's crushing. Yay. So I counted myself as a feminist way early in my youth. When I was I was going to middle school and already looking at the world and reading stuff and watching the news, and I had determined at that point to my satisfaction that women in this country are screwed because of all the stuff that's been going on. It has been a hard fight to get any sort of equality, any sort of justice. And now, so I'm doing my best again. I keep coming back to that. I keep repeating, I'm doing my best. And I am, and I hope that you are as well. I don't want to talk anymore really about current events, stuff that I can't change, stuff that's only hurting me right now. I want to try and talk about other things. So I can talk about the day yesterday. Yes, it was a hot day, and I had my windows open. Well, my windows always open 24/7, 365. I've had that open and the fan's going a lot because it's warm. It's not hot yet. So when it does get hot, I'm not looking forward to that. Ugh. And I'm hoping it's not mycotoxins from mold in the house because, yeah, I've been super wheezy, super hacking, super coughing past couple days. So here's hoping it's not mold and fungus and spores and various gases given off by this stuff. Here's hoping. And of course, owners haven't come by yet for any sort of look through. No one's come by yet to replace anything. I've been alone in the house here for a week. So joy. Oh, I am wheezing so hard. Oh, I'm not going to be able to hack this stuff up. Ugh. So, yay, probably mycotoxins. Hopefully I don't have any sort of cancers from the mycotoxins. Let's hope. So I've been trying to think creatively. Yeah, I did some thinking about Utok last night, as well as a whole bunch of stuff about the Razor's Edge and the King and Crimson and all these various places and things like that. I've done a lot of thinking. I can't remember a ton of it, but I can remember some of it. So, excuse me. I'm also thinking that because I only had one bout of falling asleep yesterday instead of most of the day I was fighting it, that taking Stratera at least every other day, if not every, take it 2 days, take it 2 days. That may be the exact way to do it. Like I say, I did not fall asleep a lot yesterday, just that once. And I can still remember most of what I was thinking about. I've had to fight for it, and it's taken time, but I can do it. So not taking Stratera every day seems to do the trick for my ADHD. For the rest of my body, don't know. I mentioned that means I will never get used to the med changes because it keeps going in my blood plasma. So, yay on that. But the only thing that I've really got written down for stuff is just nothing really. So the stuff that I thought about last night was mostly placeholder stuff and a little bit of stuff. There is one thing, I think I've mentioned it, maybe I've even talked about it before, but the full understanding of, because I'd mentioned Utok and what Utok is and how they're feeling about stuff. It's still a surprise to them. They are changing and growing. They have been just nothing but ambush predator their whole life. But they are changing and they realize this and they are just exploring what they are becoming with the full understanding that they are changing. They have always just before, when caught, discovered, they have run, gone off to someplace else to start over. Now they're not. They've lived in this area. They want to stay. It's their home. And so they're not going to run anymore. But also they are growing mentally and emotionally, becoming a more wise and mature individual with the full understanding that by the time they grow into what they are, they may no longer be anywhere near what they are right now. But they are willing to just chase it and go. Every place that they go, mentally and physically and all that, is something where they've been having to feel, does it feel right? Does it feel good? As in, is it right or wrong? They have no guides, there are no peers, they just have to go by what feels right, what feels wrong. And so they are changing. After all, they are interacting with the King in Crimson in an antagonized... Good Lord. In an antagonistic fashion, but they are still reaching out and communicating and interacting. There is some need for interaction, to the point that when they do tell the king that they are not going to accept any more immigration from this layer, it is actually a big concession that they are willing to make, because they are just trying to antagonize but not push too far. When they do feel that it doesn't feel right, what they have done doesn't feel right, the interaction just doesn't feel right. One of the things after an interaction with the king is they made the concession: I will no longer accept immigration from this layer. And their justification is something along the lines of, I would be devastated if any of my citizens turned their backs and emigrated out of my domain and left. I would be devastated. And even though what you feel is but a pale approximation of what I feel, I do not even know if we could call it love, but I realize you do feel some pale shadow of what I feel. And I would be devastated. I could not force that onto somebody else. Because it hurts you, O great and mighty king, I am no longer accepting any immigration from this layer. And so they don't. Of course, it's not really immigration, they're just eating whoever happens to come into their domain. But because it feels right, after pushing too hard at the king, making this concession to no longer feed from anybody on this layer, feels right. And so they do. They stop. And that feels right. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank how many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. Didn't even know I count in American Sign Language. Well, you've already seen how my brain works. We have, if I can get my Chrome up here, Jesse Koskinen. Very good to see you in the comments, my friend. And Hokey Smokes. I've been hosed like a Christmas monkey in my Daggerfall game there. Chris Browning, thumbs up and thank you. And yeah, I'll go with that. Hilxus, thumbs up and thank you very much. Jay, greatly appreciate and thank you very much. And then we have Confused Owl 29. Always good to see you in the comments. And she's a good piggy, the piggy I'm taking care of. It's a very good thing. Then there's Kryptonite, thumbs up and thank you. We have Ben B, thumbs up, greatly appreciated. And that is it. 7 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. It is greatly appreciated for a brief moment in time. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, and that is appreciated. So Hokey Smokes, it's a weekend, so it's going to be slower for people. Yay! So stay distracted, but stay angry. Hopefully you can get done the things that you have to get done. Hopefully I can get done what few things I have to get done. I got to get some stuff tidied back up in here for when they decide to bring the bathtub in, whenever it happens. That sword of Damocles just dangling over my head. Thumbs up. And of course, with pandemics still out there, please don't just check out early and throw your body onto the corpse pile. The covfefe bug is real. But if you're vax boosted and you take the proper precautions, you should be fine. So please, get vaxxed, get boosted, take the proper precautions, and don't just toss your body onto the end-of-life corpse pile before you have to. I don't know why we should have to tell people dying early is bad, but apparently we do. Dying early is bad. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.